I want to talk a little bit about jewel pouches. Megalith raised a very valid point about if you don't get to make a choice, there's a FOMO. But statistically, if you don't make the choice, if you shift right click to open the pouch, you also get a slightly worse outcome because you're now getting one random instead of choosing between 3 or 2. We've taken this on board and we've talked about different solutions, different suggestions, different ideas that can be done. The first thing that was suggested in my chat was we could make a jewel station where you put your pouches in and then you select from a list. So you like prioritize them. You say, okay, to me, copiously is most important, and then mining speed, and then whatever have you next. And then the jewel pouches will roll the roll and then pick whatever fits your priority list. To me, this doesn't fit my vision of the game. Because where does it end? Do we do the same with gear then? Then the other thing we discussed was the idea that the game would favor things for you. But this gets very complicated, right? Why should we as developers tell you what is better and what is worse? Because we have worked so hard on making the game about choices. Just because we say that, yeah, copiously is a bit more rare than mining speed doesn't mean that it's better than mining speed. The solution that we have come up with is the following. We are removing jewel pouches and increasing the amount of jewels by 10 again, so that you find a shit ton of jewels in chests. And we are upping the sizes to 10 to 35, and we will introduce this new bench called the Jewel Cutter, this one here, where you can put gold in and cut down the jewels yourself. The problem is that when you auto-select a jewel, you're actually missing out. Statistically, you're missing out on the chance of a better jewel. You are not picking from 2 different jewels. You are picking 1 jewel at random. So, how do we solve this? We are going to include a feature that allows you to identify pouches with identification stand. So you will be able to take your backpack and right click and it will open all the pouches at once. We are also keeping the feature of modular routers able to to open the jewel pouches for you by shift right clicking. But we are going further, okay? We are going further. We are going to make the game actually make the best choice for you. So the game is going to prioritize in this order: legendary, rarity, and maximum roll range. This means that let's say that the bag would have contained, when you open it, it would have contained a chip jewel that's copiously, and it's 2.8%, and it would contain a legendary durability jewel. The game is going to automatically take the legendary jewel. Now let's say that the jewel bag would contain a perfect jewel and a flawed jewel. No matter what the stats are, it's going to take the perfect jewel for you. Now let's say a more complicated case, that the bag you open, and a more realistic case, is going to contain an item quantity jewel that's 2.8% and an item rarity jewel that's 2.7%. It's going to take the item quantity jewel because the range is closer to perfect than it is on the other one. This works for mining speed, as durability, as etc, 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 and even vanilla immortality. If the maximum roll range is hit on the jewel, the game will prioritize that over any other modifier. Now I understand that some people will think, well, I don't want vanilla immortality 20% jewels, I want copiously jewels. But it is my decision and it is something that I'm going to stick by today. Just like everything else in the game is target looted, we have now presented a solution where the game will favor the best jewel from a statistical standpoint to the player, always when you auto open it. And if you want to make the choice, if you're hunting for that specific, if you only want copious jewels, the game is designed for you to open the pouch and have a selection of choices. I think that is I think it's elegant. I think that there's no more fear of missing out. And I think that it solves all things. I like opening jewels and look at them. If I'm building a tool and I'm building a copiously tool, I should be opening them. I should be target focusing. If I go into a vault and I want to find a new helmet, I am going to go and loot the ornate chests. I am going to miss out on the wooden chests. I am not going to get the resources from the wooden chests. Just like that, pouches work. If I want to target loot something, I am going to target by opening the pouch and have the choice. If I don't want to target, I just want to get the best possible generic outcome, I will let the game do this algorithm that I just described. And I know that if there is a legendary, if I have a pouch in my inventory, I will know this as a player, right? If I'm holding this pouch and I'm considering whether or not I should open it or auto-open it, if I auto-open it, I will know that the game is going to pick a legendary if there's a legendary in here. Here's what proves that this is an elegant solution. If I take the jeweler expertise, I'm increasing my roll by 1, right? I'm getting a choice of 4 instead of 3. that choice will remain also for the auto opening, which means that the expertise is valuable both for people who open bags and for people who auto open bags. And yes, you can still argue, you can still say to me that, well, I do miss out on the choice. Yeah, but there is no solution to that unless we scrap this whole jewel idea. And I'm just saying, I don't want to scrap this jewel idea. I think that the pouches are fun. But I do think that this solved the case where you can say, okay, I'm going to build an auto diluter. I'm going to turn it on because I'm not hunting for a specific jewel. I'm going to have it on. And then later down the line, you go like, okay, I gotta get some copiously jewels now. What do I do? Well, previously the answer was loot more gilded. And that's still the answer. But now the answer is loot more gilded, turn off your auto sorter, and make the selection yourself. If your pouch looks like this after a vault, and you identify using the identification stand, it will split the stacks in your bag. If there are no space, if there's not enough space in your bag, let's say that you have 1,000 bags, it will split them out on the floor. Identification stand makes the same choices like manually shift opening them. Yes, yeah.